before this video begins, just want to point out the fact that this audio was recorded after the fact. This clip is going to be the only clip in the entire video that is me talking in real time, because my audio got erased. I don't know how, but it did, so... yeah, woo. This actually was supposed to come out 2 weeks ago, but because of the audio problems, yeah, it got put off. But it is out now, and I mean, hopefully it is, otherwise you won't be able to hear me saying this. But it should be out now, and, well, hope you enjoy. So, we spawned out on our little mushroom island here, and, well, at this point, I'm kind of just talking about, like, how excited I am. It looks like we got 2 items. It was the mom spaghetti and the random workbook, and at that point, I had no idea what the mom spaghetti does. Actually, at the time of me recording this, I still don't know what the mom spaghetti does. But the random workbook takes me somewhere random. Ooh, who would have guessed? But I got taken to somewhere random, and, well, it's in the middle of the jungle. There was a map for me to use, just like a website, and, well, it just showed me the entirety of the map on the server, where I was, where everybody else was, and it's mildly overpowered, yes, but you could probably do that with about, like, 24 hours work. So, I mean, what's 24 hours work in the grand scheme of things, really? And at this point, I'm kind of just, getting my bearings, grabbing tools, grabbing not much else, because, I don't know, my brain was sort of malfunctioning during this entire starting bit, just because, well, I mean, I was excited. Who can blame me? And, well, yeah, that's just how it sort of went for, like, the first hour or 2 hours, maybe. I was just very excited, and wait for it, there it is, my first disconnection, one of probably about 100 by now. I disconnected and have disconnected so many times because the server is in Europe. I live in America. Those two things don't really mix too well, really do they? And so, like, just my connection to the server is just like at 1 bar, where everybody else is at, like, full. Anyways, I thought that the little destination plains biome that I was trying to get to was on the other side of, like, a little gap. It was at the other side of a gap that was about 5 times that. Then I found a shipwreck on my travels, which, I mean, it was the second structure that I had found. I had already found a, ruined portal. I had already found a ruined portal. And so, when I found the shipwreck, I was just like, ooh, cool. But I mean, I already have some stuff. The iron nuggets and iron ingots, and I think I got some emeralds as well. Those were all quite useful later down the road when I was trying to make, like, tools and stuff. But anyways, I continued on my travels, and, well, it took a while. Like, this little clip here of me just boating along is like a tiny little fraction of my entire journey. Which, yes, it's not, it took a while, but also, I mean, it didn't take that long, really. I'm kind of exaggerating. But anyways, if anybody else is watching this, any TamaCraft people, don't come to my land. And, I just want to take a quick second. This was, like, my first little progress update. And I had diamonds. I went from having nothing in the plains, and I just sort of forgot to record for, like, an hour. So I found a spawner, and I found diamonds down in the caves, and I had this area all set up. I had full iron armor. I had some iron tools, a bunch more iron, more diamonds than the first progress update. Uh, I had a bunch of copper, some lapis, amethyst. Just like, I was fully set by the second progress update, and I had just arrived in the in the plains biome just the clip before, which I don't know why I decided to do it like this, but I did. By the way, we're only at like the 5-minute mark, and I already have a bunch of stuff on me, including that new teleport book that I grabbed, a spawn workbook, which takes us back to spawn where we just were in the Mushroom Island area. But I kept it in the chest because, I mean, why would I take it with me? It would be useful in a pinch, I guess. Just like taking it out while I'm adventuring and using it like when I'm about to fall into lava, but I'd have to like use crazy instincts. But anyways, I wanted the achievement, and so I did the responsible thing with my diamonds and made diamond boots. And then put a smiley face in the chat to encourage people to look up to me and be like, wow, you have diamond armor. Just for bragging. This, I found another spawner. If this were an actual, like, 100 days purposefully, we're, like, recording the audio afterwards, I would be like, on the 12th day, I found a spawner. Thanks for watching, guys. Anyways, I lost some diamonds and the rest of my stuff down in the caves, down in some lava, but the owner of the server just came along and gave me some diamond stuff back. He didn't like give me the stuff from his private stores. No. He just sort of walked up to me, or no, teleported to me, and then handed me some diamonds out of a creative inventory, which, I mean, I'm not mad at. It does seem a little bit cheaty, but I'm just gonna roll with it. It's the owner of the server, so I'm just gonna say that it's allowed. But the rest of the stuff wasn't really a problem because I could get all that back by myself. I mean, it's only really iron stuff that I lost, and then a bunch of different types of stones, but I will have to mine for it a little bit. Like a while later, I decided it is time to start working on my base. I had some extra diamonds, and I wanted to use those for an enchantment table, but yeah, for now, it's base time. So I grabbed some shovels, and it was time to get to work on digging some dirt, because that's what you do. I grabbed some dirt, as you can see, and then, yeah, it's my plan, my entire plan, my entire base plan was a dirt cube. That was just like my mindset walking into this. And well, yeah, I did build that dirt cube. Took me a little bit though. I found a zombie spawner underneath my base, which, yeah, that I don't even know what to say about that. But the dirt cube, it was going to take a while, so I started out with just a little granite pyramid and left it off there for a little bit. You know, I wanted to have like a little sandstone path, and at that point in my talking, I noticed this skeleton floating with his skeleton pal, and I disconnected. Then when I got back onto the server, I realized that I was back up on top of the pyramid where this clip started, and the skeleton was dead. Just flat out died right just while I was gone. But I decided afterwards that it was time to actually start being productive, so I got myself some cows, which that cow farm didn't actually work out, but at the moment I was very hopeful. So I decided to just build a little 9x9 farm and, well, start breeding them up. Right, this was my little plan for where I was going to put said 9x9 farm, and I did put it there, but it didn't last long. And I realized that inside of the granite pyramid there was no lights. I forgot to put lights in there. The only reason that you could see in there is because I had Fulbright on. And that meant that there were many friends and noises from those friends coming out of the granite pyramid. But I started to get a little bit sad and lonely because literally everybody else on the server, they settled on one corner of the map, the northeast corner of the map, and I settled on the southeast corner of the map, which meant that, yeah, I did not have any friends. But there was a village over here, and these guys might want to be my friends. No, they walked away. But I did notice a building there that I had never seen before. I had been in so many 1.14 villages since the update came out. Like, how long ago was it now? Like, 3 years ago or something? Jeez, that was a while ago. But that was like a little butchery place. I had never seen a building like that. Like, it just took me completely by surprise. I actually originally thought that it was a glitch and that some houses just sort of got melted together via just a glitch. But anyways, I had some wheats to start breeding my cows. Finally, after some time of watching grass grow. And then I just sort of left them alone because I didn't have enough of their children to breed together to kill. And on that happy note, I'm going to continue working on the base. Specifically on a zombie spawner, a zombie grinder, XP grinder, whatever you want to call it. Just this spot where you get XP from. And, well, this zombie spawner is where I'm going to do that because, I mean, it's a zombie spawner, that's kind of what you do with them. So I started getting to work on that, then realized that I needed to go to the nether. Reason being, I didn't have any soul sands, and that's kind of mandatory for these farms. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to move the zombies or skeletons or spiders around. So yeah, you can see where I was running into an issue. So I started going into the nether thinking, ooh, no problems will arise. Then the soul sand was on the other side of a huge chasm. But I mean, like, look at that view. The view kind of made up for it. Like, that's insane. But as you can see here, the soul sand was very far away over a large chasm. So I decided that either netherrack or cobblestone was probably what I was going to use to get down there. And then I had another think and realized that cobblestone was much superior in this situation because I already had some of it and it's gas resistant. And the game heard my cries because it sent me into a cave, which that cave was so far away from my base. Like, look at this. I had to run probably about 100 blocks above ground just to get back to my base. Anyways, I went back through the portal and ended up in a different location. So I went back through the second portal that I got and ended up again about 100 blocks away from my base. So I destroyed the second portal that I went back through. This is getting complicated. Got disconnected, logged back in, and completed mining up the obsidian from the nether portal, it I don't know why I decided to include this in the clip of me just sort of mining. Anyways, we then went back through the portal and got another nether portal. I don't know why or how I didn't learn my lesson by this point, but the nether portal was supposed to be over the lava lake, like that's where it was set to be. And well, yeah, I didn't realize that at first, so the game was just sort of like, well, I'm going to give you nether portals until you realize your mistake. And well, that's what it did. It gave me 3 nether portals, and so after being attacked by a ghast who was invisible for a little bit, which is just, I don't know, it was unfair and I couldn't kill it. I built the nether portal and went back through, hoping that it would line up correctly, which, I mean, it did. So I went back through, ready and just chomping at the bit to actually get that soul sand and continue working on my project. First, somebody decided to walk on over to my base, so I went back through, and there they were. His name was Jocelyn, and he appeared out of nowhere. And he gave me a bunch of dirt. I had told everybody that I needed dirt for the giant dirt cube, and so I had 2 or 3 people just give me stacks upon stacks upon stacks of dirt, which was just just wild. Because like at this point I had, what is that, almost 27 stacks. It's just it's a lot of dirt, really, especially for like early game, because I had only been like playing on the server for like a day. Or I think I was on like my 2nd day of playing on the server at this point, but still, it was just I had a lot of dirt. I just had like way too much dirt, and yeah. But anyways, I decided to actually continue working on the zombie project that I just completely neglected. I really just, I went to grab the soul sand, and then it didn't grab any soul sand. So now I needed to actually go get that soul sand. I don't know why it took me so long to actually get the soul sand, but I got distracted again by, well, looking at my portals, my failed attempts at another portal. But after finally getting the soul sand, like, it was about a half an hour that I spent just trying to get soul sands. I got it, and then went back through only to find the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse right outside my base, which was a surprise. Not, I can't really say pleasant surprise, because they tried to kill me, but I mean, it was a decent surprise because skeleton horse, that's kind of cool. I got distracted again because I accidentally used a Workbook, taking me on a bit of an adventure, which led me to this mansion, which I was actually kind of pleased about. But I ended up hiding in the wrong spot because, well, there's a Vex there who 2-shot me. I don't know, how are these things so powerful? I don't know, but I had slept and then broken my bed while trying to get back to my base on said Workbook adventure, which meant that I didn't have my spawn set. It took me about like 3 hours to get back to my base, but all of the distractions and all the build-ups, and I built the the farm off camera, along with a nice outline for what I'm going to do with my base, just because, I don't know, I got carried away. Overall, in between those 2 clips, it was about 7 hours, I think, and it just, strikes me as just crazy because I I had been like recording clips nonstop up to that point. Or like I kind of had a sweet spot because at first I wasn't recording clips, and then I started recording clips repeatedly. And then I just didn't record anything for 7 hours. But the good news was, Grinder worked, and I had a button that set it up for magma cube action. And if you look there, that's just a touch bit more spawners than there were last time, and that's because I had found a silk touch pickaxe, a golden silk touch pickaxe on my travels, which allowed me to pick up some spawners that I found deep in the caves because silk touching spawners is a thing on this server. And so I had a triple spawner on like my first few days, which is just wild. It made the place just incredibly like much more efficient. And the only thing is that around it the caves were just not lit up, and yeah, without full bright, that's how you could see it. Otherwise, it looked very lit up. Uh, but I decided to not worry about that and sort through my crazy amounts of resource packs to turn full bright back on. Anyways, I decided that a dirt floor would look quite nice, so I had to clear all the stone and then use up some of my precious dirt. Which, before I started doing so, I set this up for automatically gathering some resources for me, which got me this common box. And what the boxes are, they give you like workbooks or XP. There are actually 3 warp books. There's the spawn warp, random warp, which you've already seen, and then there's also the bed warp, which is the rarest one, and it is just the best because you can teleport to anybody's bed that you want. Just anybody who's online, you can just teleport straight to their bed. But anyways, now that I realized I had everything properly dirtified, there wasn't really much else that I could really do except build the box. I guess I could. I mean, there was sitting in a box and waiting for dirt to grow, or mining. I could do that. Yes, I could do that. Uh, or I could take my skeleton horse out for a spin. Ooh, fancy. And well, yeah, brag about diamonds. Brag about diamonds while on my skeleton horse. That's cool. Um, I could get Phil to name my horse. He named it Pegasus, which yeah, sure, not the best name for a bone horse, but I didn't really tell him the name, so I can't really blame him there. First we needed an anvil, and then put the name tag in, name it Pegasus, and well, Pegasus. There we go. Pegasus. Woo! We at that point had our new pets, our only pets, our favorite pets because it was our only pet. And we could Tokyo Drift on it, which, I mean, it's the best kind of pet. If you have a pet and you can't Tokyo Drift on it, then do you even have a pet? I mean, come on. If you don't have a pet that can Tokyo Drift, then your pet is just non-existent. But after doing that for about 5 hours, well, there's nothing else that I can really do, is there? But I could take out those diamonds. Yep, I could definitely take out those diamonds and enchant stuff. I could get good gear, finally. That is a first. That is a very first for me, to have good gear. But I actually needed bookshelves to do that. Luckily that was made very easy by smoking rotten flesh into leather. Again, mildly OP thing that we have on this server. But you could get that amount of leather really easily after about 24 hours of work. So I mean, I'm only skipping 24 hours of work both times, so I don't feel like this is cheating at all. At all. In all seriousness, I really do like the rotten flesh to leather feature as just like a normal game feature. But I don't know, that's just my opinion. Anyways, we can make diamond tools, a full set in fact, which is cool. Again, a first for me, especially on the first episode. That actually might be a first for me, having full diamond tools and diamond armor and stuff. And we even have the golden crown, which is better than diamond armor. I personally would say that's always been my mindset. Crowns are better than diamond helmets. That I think everybody in the comments can agree on that, and there will be no other opinions. But anyways, we have efficiency on our first roll, which I forgot lapis, but we did have efficiency on the first roll. Now that I actually had lapis, I could use said efficiency, and we got efficiency 4 and unbreaking 3. Not the best roll, but we could do better. We had on the next roll unbreaking 3, which I decided not to go for. And then I just kind of rolled with every single bit that might have a different enchant on it, and all I got was Unbreaking 3. So I put that on my chest plate and only got Unbreaking 3, which, yes, it wasn't the best, but oh well, that's fine. On the pickaxe, we got just Efficiency 4, which I would definitely be re-rolling at some point. We got Looting 3 on the sword and ended up getting Smite 4 anyways, which, oh well, I mean, it's useful for the zombie grinder. And what else is useful is that I got Efficiency 4 and Unbreaking 3 on the shovel, which, yeah, just that's actually like crazy useful. After opening some more loot boxes and getting 88 levels, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, because you can get XP out of those, as I briefly mentioned earlier. I didn't mention how much XP you get, but you get like a lot of XP. So it was time to continue enchanting, which I'm not going to put you through because that's a very boring process. Anyways, I got right down to 7 levels, not because of dying, just because of how much I enchanted my stuff. I enchanted a lot. And it was now time to rename my sword to Stormcloud, which is TM. Stormcloud TM. Because I don't know, I always tend to name my sword to Stormcloud for some reason. It does relate back to the fact that my name is Sky, and also the look of a netherite sword specifically looks like a storm cloud, kind of like that. It's like that grayish color, and so I just sort of name it that. I just always name it that. But anyways, the dirt wasn't done growing grass on it. And so I decided that it might finally be time to work on the actual cube. But I needed 16 sacks of dirt for each one, which meant that I needed a lot of dirt. So we might only be able to get through maybe like 3 sides. But it was time to hit it, and we have this time lapse of me placing dirt repeatedly. There used to be music on here, but all the audio got removed. That's why this is recorded after the fact. All my talking here is recorded afterwards. I became like a master dirt placer after this. Yeah, it was just I placed a lot of dirt. like a lot of dirt. I think I went through almost all of the dirt that was in that chest, which is just wild. We went through, I think it was 3 sides, 3 of the 5 sides that I needed to fill in. which is just, it's wild. It was only like a half an hour's work, which really is what surprised me because I expected that to take like multiple hours to get all the dirt and fill in all the dirt and stuff. But then I needed more dirt because I ran out of dirt. So this time lapse is just me running down various hallways to one of my friend's house for dirt. There we go, we made it. And then I went on a little bit of an espionage. I got caught, and so I hid behind a portal, grabbed some dirt, ran over, actually said hi, and then left. I got disconnected multiple times during this time lapse, as you can see. And I've run out of things to say now. What do you think of this video, guys? Do you like it? I don't know. I would probably have... No, I'm not going to say that. I probably would have left the video by now. I definitely would have kept on watching this video. Ooh, because it's a great video. What a great video that I have made. What do you guys think of, like, mods and stuff? Yeah, what do you think of mods? That's all I really have to say. I like mods. Mods are cool. Come on, there we go. I don't know why I just cut to a black screen. My editing is just bad. This is why I don't normally do time lapses. Anyways, I am now off to the Nether Fortress for some blaze rods. Ooh, blaze rods, yum. But the reason that I need blaze rods is because, well, I needed a brewing stand, which, fun fact, requires blaze rods. Who would have guessed? That's why I'm getting blaze rods. But the reason I need a brewing stand is to transform a villager into a, what is it? Clerk? Is it a clerk? I never know what the name of that profession is. But that will allow me to trade in all of my, like, stacks upon stacks upon stacks upon stacks of rotten flesh into, well, just emeralds. And then I can trade those emeralds for mending books with villagers that aren't mine. And this villager is the lucky villager that got chosen. And yep, he gave me the normal rotten flesh trades, but that now meant that I had to sit there for like a half an hour just trading up rotten flesh. I did end up getting enough emeralds to get 4 mending books, which would be enough for some tools, but I actually had to get the help of this Fletcher here, who, after a couple rounds of trading sticks, decided to jack up his trades to almost a stack, even though I was being just a nice, loyal customer going back to him. I don't know what's wrong with that, but it's just, I don't know, it's just bad. I didn't hit him or anything. He just decided, well, I'm going to jack up your trades, which is just, yeah, it's annoying, because, I mean, stick traders are valuable assets, and he just canceled it. So that is the end of the time lapse in this thing. Ended up looking absolutely crazy. I did not expect a dirt cube to actually look good, but I absolutely love the look of this thing. It's just massive for no reason whatsoever. But that is the end of the video. That's all I had time to record 2 weeks ago when this was supposed to come out. The audio really, the audio messing up really just messed up my entire schedule. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, all that stuff. See ya.